We need to tell Kid the truth. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we're here with Kid Cosmic Season 3, Episode 3. The halfway point of the season, because this season is only 6 episodes, and we're already starting to see the effects of that. Episode 2 had Joe figuring out that this is all a simulation. That with whatever's going on, this entire stuff with the PPG and all the crime fighting they're doing has all been faked. It's all some simulation they're stuck in. And while Papa G has figured it out as well, he has been hiding it from everyone else, and most notably Kid. Because he feels this is something that Kid needs, but also he found out that all of these adventures they're going on are based off of Kid's comics. And that if they keep going down the route they're going to reach the comic in which the hero from them reunites with his parents. And so Papa G's like, he wants to allow Kid to reunite with his parents and all, to give him that because of everything he's been through. But Joe is like, how is that going to help? Like, you think some fake interpretation here is going to help him through all of this? We need to be honest with him. We're his family now. You're his only, like, actual direct family left. And it's like, we need to be honest with him. And you understand both points of view. Joe is absolutely right. But Papa G genuinely is trying to help Kid. And you can see how much he's struggling with it. How sad it makes him to, like, break this illusion because of how happy it makes Kid. It's like, that's something that's important to him. He wants Kid to be happy. And so does Joe. Joe absolutely does as well. But she doesn't want his happiness to be fake. And that's the big thing here. That happiness that he has right now is based on a lie. And I think if he found that out, he wouldn't want that either. It wouldn't mean the same. So this is definitely something that needs to be handled. Here's the thing. This is the midway point of the season. Like I said, there's only 6 episodes in Season 3. This needs to be figured out. Because we already had the reveal of it being a simulation in Episode 2, which feels really early to reveal that. But with only 6 episodes, you don't have a choice. Because if you don't reveal and resolve that very quickly, you're not going to have time for anything else in the season. And that's what I'm worried about most here. I feel like we have to resolve this in this episode. Because again, if we don't, like, we only have 3 episodes after this. We have to get out of this simulation, find out what's going on, and we have to defeat probably the real, I've been doing well on the name, and now I can't remember it. I want to say Eternatus, but I know that's not it, because that's a Pokemon. Oh my god. The Planet Destroyer. They thought they had defeated it last time, but I don't think they did. And so it's like, it probably either has another body, or the real one is controlling these planetoid bodies. Something like that. The things I've been saying since the last season finale. I just really hope this ends in a satisfying way. I really do. Because I'm just a little worried with it being so short. Especially when you're introducing a simulation plotline in the final season with it only being 6 episodes. It's like that feels like it could be really rushed, and it might be. And again, I said this before. I don't know if this show was canceled or not. I don't know if I couldn't. I tried looking it up, but I couldn't find anything concrete about that. Um, but yeah, it's like if it was and they were forced into the lower episode counts, then yeah, that really sucks, and I blame more Netflix than anything. But if this was planned, if it was planned on being like 2 episodes shorter each season, then it's just like that's weird. And if Netflix just gave them less episodes, didn't like cancel it, but just gave them less episodes each season, it's like still fuck Netflix. It's just I feel like it's a detriment. I feel like all 3 seasons should have been 10 episodes. It would have allowed for a lot more character growth time and a lot more story building. It just feels like they're having to rush through it a little bit. Season 2 didn't have as much of that issue, but season 3, again, just based off the first 2 episodes so far, it feels like they're kind of rushing through it a bit. Especially specifically with episode 2. We'll see how episode 3 goes, though, so let's get into this and hope for the best. Hold up just a second there. Before you click that link down in the description below to go to today's reaction, I just wanted to take this moment real quick to remind you of all the awesome content we have on the channel. Between Monday and Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions, with 2 on Wednesday. We also have movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday. I do pre-record them during the week, but upload them on the weekend. And don't forget about all the awesome gaming content over on the Princess of Gaming channel. Every single day of the week, we have some awesome Let's Plays for you. A bunch of different things to check out, and more coming in the future. And don't forget to click that subscribe button or like the video if you really enjoy the content I'm putting out. There will be more to come in the future. In the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in, and let's get this going. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, before anything else, I want to mention what was said at the end, like, oh, all we had to do was ask to leave the world and all. I don't think that's it. At least not exactly. Because Jo was asking. She was trying to use her powers to exit the world, remember? She kept asking, she kept like trying to manifest it to happen, but it didn't happen. It only worked when Kid asked. It was all centered around him when he wanted to leave. Because remember, this entire world in general was centered around him. So he's the one who specifically had to ask, not anyone else. And yeah, it ended up throwing them right back into space where they were before they were portaled into that anyway, in the first place. So yeah, fun. But we did get the resolution to this episode, which is what I was hoping for. So now we have 3 episodes to close this out with the battle with Herodias and Phantos and all resuming from here. I assume maybe one of their allies are gonna save them from being in space before they, fucking die. But let's talk about this, because obviously the parent thing was what everything was building up to. We knew that since last episode. And we got Kid's parents voiced by Travis Willingham and Laura Bailey. Great choices, by the way. And it's so obvious once you know it's them. But they're such restrained performances compared to what at least I'm used to them with. I'm used to Travis Willingham being a little more exciting, for lack of a better word. He like puts a little more oomph into his performances, whether it's as Grog in Vox Machina, or as Roy Mustang, or even that little cameo he had in season 3 of Ruby. He usually has a lot more like volume and excitement and personality. This was a lot more restrained, and it needed to be. It made sense, because the illusion was also having Kid's parents be very warm and embracing and loving for obvious reasons. And Laura Bailey, you could definitely hear Vax from Vox Machina in there. Or no, Vex. Vax is the guy, right? Vax is the guy. And then it's Vex. I was saying like Vax and Vox, but no, it's not Vox. It's Vox Machina. That's the name of the series. The characters are Vex and Vax, right? So she would be Vex. I think. Let me look this up. But yeah, you could definitely hear the same kind of tone there. You could definitely tell it's the same voice. Just again, a lot more restrained. Vox Machina Vex. Yeah, Vexalia. Vex for short. Yeah, and then Vaxildon, or Vax for short. So yeah, Vex and Vax. Okay. But yeah, it's really interesting that they were chosen. Um, I really love the casting. I just was not expecting them to be in this. But great performances, obviously. They did a wonderful job. Really enjoyed their small role here. Um, but I also like how Papa G, which we now know for sure it stands for George. I don't think we knew that before. But I like how he like gets angry at them for basically saying that kid had to be worthy to see them and all. Like how he got extremely angry and defensive over that. And it's like it just shows how much he genuinely loves kid, how much he like, cares for him, that saying something like kid would need to earn the love of his parents would really piss him off. And I love that. Like I said in the reaction, I was kind of hoping kid would come to the conclusion on his own, but having that be the way it's done as well is also really good because it instantly shows Papa G as the more trustworthy one as well. But I like that kid was also super accepting of it because he's just matured a lot throughout this series. Like he's still a dumb kid. He's still like, overly excited and he loves his fantasies and comic books and stuff, and that's fine. You're allowed to. But he's also shown a lot more maturity as it's gone along because of, the real shit they've had to get up to. He's definitely grown as a character. Um, Maybe not had like the most intense and like life changing character arc or whatnot. I mean, he's not like Zuko from Avatar. But still, he's had a great character arc nonetheless. And it's great to see how mature he was about handling this. And his entire statement of like I'd rather lose in the real world than keep winning in a fantasy. It's like that was such a like powerful um mature statement to make, because it's like what's the point of winning in a fantasy when it's not real? It doesn't mean anything. But even if you lose in reality, it still means something because it's actually happening. And the fact that Kid understands that shows how much he's grown. But like I like even seeing Joe's reaction to seeing his parents there, and her reaction to him like discovering everything. It's like you could tell she didn't want to ruin this for him, but she knew that it had to happen. She understood entirely where Papa G was coming from. She was just as heartbroken for Kid as he was. And I think that's just a very important aspect we have to touch on here. Cuz it's like she wasn't being mean with telling Papa G he had to like quote unquote ruin this for Kid. No, she was honestly being kind. She was telling him it's like this isn't good for Kid. This is not going to help him. This is just going to make things worse, honestly. So she was being kind by telling Papa G, it's like, you need to do this. You're his biological family. You're his like grandfather, right? So it's like, you need to be the one to do this. And mind you, again, all of them are his family. Every single one of them. They're all his family, 100%. But, you know, I mean, like, Papa G's his, like, biological family. Like, they do have a lot longer of a connection. It's definitely a lot tighter than he has with, like, the others. But he still definitely considers them family. And I think that's going to be a big factor in, like, the end of this. I'm very excited to see how this does close out, because if we didn't destroy Erodius at all the last time, then that probably means the planetoid body is just Erodius. If even defeating Erodius was fake, then that means that the planetoid body is more than likely Erodius, and that there isn't like someone controlling the planetoid. So we're gonna have to get back into this battle, and I'm very curious as to how they're actually going to win this time. Like, what's gonna be the big changing factor? Also, I do find it very interesting that the portals can open portals to like fantasy worlds and stuff too. That's really interesting. That is like an unexpected evolution of a power that we've known for a long time. But I also like it when they take powers that characters have had for a long time and evolve them. I think that's something that a lot more things, a lot more shows and movies and stuff should do. Games too. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. It was obviously emotional, but it never crossed into the realm of being like a real tearjerker, because we went into it knowing it was fake. I feel like it would have been a lot more emotional and definitely more tear jerking if we didn't know when it happened. But I don't think that's what they were going for either. I don't think it was supposed to be super like tear jerking. You're definitely supposed to get emotional. You're definitely supposed to feel for Kid. But you're also like supposed to understand that, yeah, this isn't real and we need to fight out of this kind of situation. So yeah, it gives a different vibe than what a lot of shows doing this kind of thing would do. But I think that's for the better of this series particularly. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. So tell me what you thought of this episode down in the comments below. Obviously, no spoilers for the final 3 episodes. But for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.